Courtesy of Sean Larmond, Jack's RC Recycle and Repair, I get to show you the brand new Redcat Wendigo. This thing is actually pretty darn big, really beefy axles. I'm going to show you guys all of this, do some size comparisons, and then give you guys my thoughts. Take a look. Let's take a look at what you get in the package. You get some plastic sand ladders, got some grip on there, some rod ends, a tire tool, and for your lights, the little pieces that hold those in place. You get the manual. You get a rather basic radio, RCR 2CE. I would have rather seen them stay with the GT5, especially for something like this that's got to move and get some speed on it. I think that would be a better choice. You get the bind plug. So now, let's open it up. Under the body, we have a 25 kg servo. Now this has actually proved to be a really good servo. I mean, it's got good metal gears. I haven't broke one yet. Got a 3300 kV motor. Got a Hobbywing 10BL60 RTR ESC. Now this is a Hobbywing system, so that should be pretty darn good. It's not censored. So not really a crawler, but it's not billed as a crawler either. Now the chassis kind of reminds me of a bit of a Gen 8, only that's about it, aside from the transmission and transfer case. So looks good. Nice beefy shocks with metal housings. I like that. Lots of travel, because if you're going to be jumping this thing, you want some suspension travel. Now it does have a sway bar in the back, but the sway bar is really small, and with all that arm on there, I doubt it's even going to do a whole lot, but who knows. Now let's see here. Yeah, the belly is pretty much Gen 8. Kind of worried about the drive shafts. The axles, they are super beefy. The internal gear ratio is only 2.91 to 1, so they're kind of fast. I would have rather seen something around 4 to 1, but, well, I didn't design the truck, so. But the housings, I mean, look at the beef on this thing. That housing is ultra beefy. Really like that housing. And all of that right there, that angle, see if I can put this over here. That angle puts the turning, see that lug? You don't have all the wheel scrub of the tire doing this number right here. So that helps in handling. So I like that. Metal links everywhere. The ends, look at the rod ends. The rod ends actually look beefy. Hopefully they'll hold up pretty well. I mean, the housings look spectacular. Now they do have a CNC aluminum spool in there. Got a nice metal servo horn, so that's a good thing. All the ends look nice and beefy. With this truck, I would have rather seen a servo on axle just for the, performance aspect of a truck like this. But trying to get a servo on the axle with the motor where it's at, to get in between the frame rails, which is really skinny right through here, is almost an impossibility without a whole new chassis design, a new belly, a whole new transmission setup and all that. So they done what they did. Man. Double shear down there on the panhard. That's a nice thing to see. Standard receiver box. I like it. Let's check that thing, because I know everybody's probably wondering, does it have bump steer? Looks pretty good. Now there is some chassis movement due to the panhard setup being at that angle, and that's just unavoidable unless you start moving stuff around, which I'm sure the aftermarket is going to be all over this thing. I want to get back to these axles for just a second. This design is really beefy. I really like this design. I mean, the CVDs, hopefully those are nice and beefy, because they're going to be tested quite a bit. Hopefully they're at least the upgraded or maybe even alloy. I don't know if they put the alloys in factory. But I gotta say, this axle housing looks good. And I really think this housing, once they get a steering servo on it, is going to be a nice monster truck racing housing. It just looks awesome. Let's talk about the tires for a second. They are glue-on with 2.2 wheels, and they breathe good. They feel nice and grippy, and I like the tread design myself. I really do. So hopefully this compound will prove to be good, stick and hook up. Now, one thing about it is, now they have kind of a soft foam, but the issue is, while these may actually, hurt you on side hilling due to tire roll like that, when you're bouncing around and jumping like what this thing is kind of intended for, the tire kind of becomes part of the suspension. So when you land, that tire is going to absorb along with the shocks. So all of that plays in to a smooth running truck. As compared to the Gen 8, you can see the body up front, and it's a little bit, well, at least it's tucked a little bit on the back side. The tire height, well, yeah, huge tire height difference. Again, I really, really like that axle housing design. I really do. I'm surprised it's not any taller. So, yeah, and obviously the portal's on that one straight here. So, other than being quite a bit wider, it's about the same length. To show you guys the width difference. Yep, quite a bit wider. It makes the Capra look small. Look at that. The Capra's a tiny little truck compared to this thing. Wow. All right, let's check that width. I would say it's probably a good 1 inch overall wider than what the Capra is. Obviously, it's quite a bit taller than the Bouncer. Width, though, well, they're really close to the same width. Now, again, that axle versus that one. Man. Yeah, that's going to be a sought-after axle, especially when they get steering on the axle. That's what that thing needs. Let's check width. Actual width, it is very, very similar to a Wraith. So, it's definitely a wide monster, that's for sure. Just for the heck of it, Mega Bouncer. Now, these tires are almost the same height, which makes me wonder how awesome these would be on this. All right. Now, I got these big wider things for the TRX axles. I really do not like all that stuff, but kind of got to have some width for that. But those are nice. All right, let's check overall width. It is a bit wider than the Mega Bouncer. Maybe 3/4 of an inch overall. Okay, let's do a, yeah, never mind. Here it is next to the TRX4. It's a monster compared to that truck. And it's just simply bigger in every way. Yepers. Well, I guess it's about the same length. As far as width goes, it's a lot wider. Yeah, it's just a lot wider. First impressions, I think this is going to be a winner. Large shocks, I really like that. Got a rear sway bar. Could possibly use a stiffer bar in the middle of that. I think it could use a little bit more just for stability, especially at speed. But it's there, so we know it's there. Links are there. Everything is ready to go for that. The links are nice metal. I believe they're steel. And the rod ends look good. The axle housings, again, I love the axle housings. I think they're going to hold up well. Time will tell, because we're fixing to go jump this thing. Well, not in this video, but soon. And the steering servo, 25 kg. That servo has actually proven itself to be one of the better RTR servos out there. I've actually bought a few of them and put them in other trucks just because they're cheap and they hold up really, really good. The brushless system, We're going to see how fast that thing is. I'm just a thought that this thing is going to move out, and as you guys know, I kind of like that. So I got to give this a big thumbs up. I really like the truck, but time will tell. See how durable it is. Guys, hopefully you like this video. In that description are links to this truck and other stuff. So check that out, and thank you all for watching.
If you guys like the channel and want to help it out a little bit, you can click that join button and actually become a channel member. Members get special privileges, maybe even some member giveaways. So make sure you check that out. And as always, subscribe, like, and share. Thank you guys for watching.